Jim Rohn's advice for young people who want to be rich. When I was around 12, there was an old poor man in my town. Oftentimes, when I was on my way to school or returning in the afternoon, I would see this old, rejected and depressed man coming from or going to the farm. His clothes were always dirty. He walked slowly because he was probably in his late 70s and he rarely smiled. Whenever I saw that man, I would tell myself, I would rather die young than to be old and be like this man. So at the early age, I was lucky enough to know that if I run away from difficult situations when I'm young, I will do difficult things when I'm old. I will share with you some more details about this story as I'm trying to challenge you with the best advice of Jim Rohn, which I believe can make you rich. Now, if you're new here, consider subscribing so that you won't miss other interesting videos like this. Here's the thing, out of many advices given by Jim Rohn in 79 years of his lifetime, I think one of the most important of them is you must suffer one or two things, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Don't be mistaken about this. You've got no escape route. In your life, you will suffer. In your life, you will go through pains. In your life, you will cry. But you have the choice. You can choose to suffer the pain that comes from being disciplined, or wait for the pain that comes from poverty, loneliness, depression, and failure. You must suffer one of two things, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Tomorrow is far. I once watched a young man on TV who was doing what was obviously wrong. When he was asked how he would feel his 70s looking back at his present errors, he said, "Well, I still have about 50 years before I regret." This sounds stupid, but we all do similar things in our life because we think tomorrow is far. Don't deceive yourself. Tomorrow is now. Go and ask people who are 50 and above. I'll tell you, these people don't know how they turned out 50 because time goes so fast. I once read a quote from Robert Kiyosaki. I read something like, if you know what it means to be old, you will live well when you are young. I think you should think about that when you are willing to go through the pains of discipline now. The truth is, most people, they don't know what it means to be old. Being old means that many of your friends have died, many are sick so they cannot leave home, many are too old to even think of visiting you, so you are lonely. You might also have one or two health challenges which need a lot of money to manage. There are so many worries in your old age than to still worry about money but to still regret about missed opportunities. Why we hate discipline? By nature, humans are lazy. I mean, all of us are. We love the TV and all the boring books. We love the social media and all the workouts. We prefer the talking and complaining and never the grinding and pursuing. We love the ease and comfort zone, not the harsh world. That's why we avoid the pain of discipline. But your life will change right now if you can think about this. Well, there is no escape route. As human, you are like a soldier. You can never avoid the battle. If you don't go out to fight, the enemy will come and attack you at home, and that will be 10 times more difficult. As humans, if you don't go out and get disciplined, if you don't do whatever you ought to do even when it is difficult, if you don't read those books, if you don't practice that music several hours every day, if you don't start that business even when it's tough, if you live like a coward and wish that your life will change by miracle, well, two things will happen. First, someone else will use you to pursue his own dreams, and after using you, he will dump you into poverty and frustrations. Seeing tomorrow. You see, I spent most part of my last 1 decade going through some of the most difficult situations you can ever imagine. And guess what? I did it on purpose and threw myself out. I told myself, build your own company or die trying. It was not a half-hearted decision. I had no space in my heart to make excuses or wait for the government to help me. I knew what was at stake, and that is my future and my life. I wanted freedom. I wanted a life of my own. I wanted a life that allows me to sleep and wake up on my own time. I wanted a life which will allow me to work when I want to and with who that I want. I didn't want a life that worries about money. I didn't want a life that hates the job and work for money. I don't just want to live. I want to live with purpose. And to do this, I understood that I wasn't supposed to make excuses or wait for a miracle. I understood that I had to get out, fight hard, get wounded, fall, fail and cry. I knew that to wear a crown, I had to carry a cross, and I was not afraid of the pain that comes with a cross, because I could see tomorrow. Most young people cannot see beyond today, and that's the reason why they complain and make excuses. If you, like me, can look around you and see old people who have died, who have lived their lives as cowards, and see the pain they are going through now, you will not be a coward. If you look around you and see people who dreamed of starting their own businesses all their lives and never tried, or gave up when they failed twice, now in their 70s, after working all their lives in the job they had, they are still poor, and you will understand the pains of regret. You will suffer, yes, you must suffer one or two things, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Living in the world of cowards. Don't ever think that we see some examples of courage in your primary environment, because not many courageous people are into the world. Most people are cowards and they live their lives avoiding difficulties. The problem about this is that it is contagious. Take for instance, I know a family whose child is a talented writer. Instead of letting this child pursue his dreams of becoming a great writer, the parents just want him to study normal things that every other kid is studying at school. What's happening here is simple. The parents are cowards, so they cannot encourage their kids to pursue his dreams. They know that there is no security for anyone who pursues his dreams outside the normal world everyone knows. For example, there's security for you if you study to become an accountant, because you can get a job and get a paycheck for 30 years. There's security for you if you become a lawyer, doctor or engineer. But there's no security for you if you want to become a musician, because you might never become a famous musician, and that means failure. There's no security for you if you want to become a writer or athlete or an entrepreneur. And all of these, you are taking a great risk, and a natural thing to do in our society is to calm down and follow the path everyone else is following, or have a plan B. Plan B means that even if you want to be an entrepreneur, go get a degree first, so that if you fail in business, you can easily get a job. The problem about this weird thinking is that plan B will always distract you from plan A. I left school without any degree, and because I didn't want to be employable. I knew if I was employable, I could easily stop pursuing my entrepreneurial dreams whenever the road becomes rough. But because I had no degree, I knew that I didn't have any plan B. And because I didn't have plan B, I fought with my lifeblood and I won. You must suffer one or two things, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Which one are you going to choose? The discipline today or the regret tomorrow? Thank you so much for watching our videos. So I love you guys. See you the next time. Hey. Subscribe. Excellent! Yeah! Club visionary. Joy to the nations of the world. Men on breast ain't gonna stop until you hit that like button. Yeah. Hey.